Here's what I was told. That's the decision that came on high above Kevin Feige. In other words, Kevin Feige wasn't down with that decision. What does our friend Robert Meyer Burnett say? It ain't show friends, it's show business. And you get what you negotiate. They really wanted Robert back, and Robert didn't want to come back. I think a lot of this were counter demands, or not demands, but counter offers from Disney that he just said, yeah, I wasn't there and I don't care. And I don't care what he makes. I don't care if he makes like $100 million. Okay. Because he's worth that to the MCU. He's not worth that in any other movie, but he's coming off, an Academy Award, Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
And he is worth that much within this universe. Now, does it work as Doctor Doom? It made the splash. It broke the internet. But once people start going, what does that do for longevity? Like, what happens 5 years from now? And Doctor Doom is a character that should be your villain forever. Like, forever. This is why you don't kill characters in comics. Everybody, I saw that, I put it in my video, the tweet of like, oh, these deaths are meaningless. It's like, well, welcome to comic books. And this is why you don't kill your anchor characters using the language from Deadpool and Wolverine. You don't do it because you're going to eventually have to recast them anyway. There's nothing wrong with having somebody sent off in the sunset, or it's a different guy playing it. No, it's not going to be Robert Downey Jr. No, it's not. But it worked for Bond for decades. You just got to find the right person and cast accurately. Marvel was under this impression, probably based on a lot of inexperience, a lot of morons from the current Disney Marvel comics trying to convince them based on their recent source material that passing the mantle works. It certainly does with secondary characters once in a while, but not with the main ones, not with S-tier characters like Iron Man, who didn't used to be one, right? It doesn't work with Spider-Man, doesn't work with Batman, doesn't work with Superman, doesn't work with fucking Wolverine. These are main characters that you cannot you can't just pass the mantle down and call somebody else Wolverine. Nobody's going to accept that.
Well, yeah, because he's played it for 25 years. On Tony Stark and RDJ coming back as Doom, is he Tony Stark Doom? Is he Victor Von Doom and just same actor, different character? Because it was really telling. He said these words and he put it in an Instagram post. He said, different mask, same task. What was Tony Stark's big goal once he found out in Avengers 1, there's a wild universe out there that might kill us? He created Ultron to put a shield around the world. Is Doctor Doom have the same motivation, but maybe in a more evil way? Like, I want to protect humanity. So he's almost has a admirable goal, right? So is he a variant of Stark? Is he Doom? I always thought that Michael Fassbender would make a great Doom. And Cillian Murphy, that's the other fan casting I heard, also very good. But I'm really curious as to what his take on it is, because those 4 words, different mask, same task, are telling of something. I don't know your thoughts on that, Gary.
Okay, so I've known about it for a while. I've known this for a while.
I didn't.
I might have told a couple people, but
I've heard it. But
so I talked about it here. I said once this big spoiler comes out, I'll let you know this was it. This was it. So, I can't give you the context on this. Oh God, I wish I could. I'll just say. It's the opposite side of the coin.
Okay.
It's whatever Iron Man task was, it's same goal, opposite approach.
Huh. Okay.
Same goal, opposite approach. I'll just say that. That's all I can say. This fucking ruins Doctor Doom, though, if you think about it. For one, definitely they get points for, like, it's not Leslie Jones being, cast as Doctor Doom,
You could make that work.
Get the fuck out of here.
That'd be terrible.
So like 10, like I said yesterday, 10 out of 10 for style, minus several million for good thinking, borrowing a phrase from Zaphod Beeblebrox. Like, because Doom. The reason Doom is the villain in Marvel Comics is not that he's some big god. What he is he's a man who's mastered magic and technology, and he's become like a god. And so he's created a lot of godlike things and is a very formidable villain and can take on gods. Like with his, he fucking takes on Mephisto. By the way, there's some showrunners out there working for Marvel probably still don't know who he is. But whatever. True. Jack Schaefer talking to you. What they're going to have to do is reboot after Secret Wars. They'll do a soft reboot. So they'll probably keep the FF cast and some people, and then they'll recast certain characters. But they don't have a plan beyond then. Chris pointed out they didn't lay out phases because they have no fucking plan. As a matter of fact, they don't have a script for Avengers Doomsday. So this is all being made up now as we speak. And we'll see if these movies even come out. In the meantime, they still have some shit to put out. Agatha, Ironheart. I'm sorry to say it's probably going to be Daredevil Born Again too. They got all the actors back, but the writers are fucking horrible. We talked about that with Razor Fist on Friday. And Captain African American, which looked terrible. Bringing back Hugh Jackman and then announcing RDJ is certainly a sign of desperation and an admission of failure. That whole panel was an admission of failure. And the good part about the panel, it was pretty celebratory. They started out with a bunch of Deadpools dancing, and it was kind of funny.
That was fun. That was cool.
Even Anthony Mackie, which is such a shame that they're forcing him in. Oh, he took it, whatever. But they're forcing the character Sam Wilson in this garbage Captain America stuff that doesn't fucking work in the comics. So why would it work in the movies? And it's not going to work in the movies. And even people at Marvel are saying this isn't going to be good. Another one of those. And it's a shame because he's really good as Falcon. I like him a lot as Falcon, and he seems like a pretty cool guy. They brought out everybody on the panel. Like Harrison Ford was there. The entire Fantastic Four was there. The entire cast of Thunderbolts. But yeah, the panel, it felt like it was hastily put together because I was told that the Doctor Doom stuff wasn't going to come out. Like that was going to be super secret, and they were going to put it at the end of Fantastic Four. It was going to be a stinger for the end of Fantastic Four, post-credit sequence. So I'm guessing it got out, and they just like, fuck it, let's announcement. That would be my guess. That's all it is. They needed the momentum. So there are certain points in business where like you are desperate and you just need a win and you need the momentum, and you can't really fault them for that. You can't. I think coming out and doing all this stuff, I don't think it's going to help at all with longevity, but bringing Hugh Jackman back and bringing Robert Downey Jr. back will temporarily stop the bleeding. I think that's the best way we could, like, it temporarily stops the bleeding, but then it's right back to business as usual. Yeah, Guardians, they didn't take that opportunity, and that was a success. No Way Home, they fumbled that one immediately, and they're going to do the same here. So I guess the question is, like, are the normies going to hang on? And are the hardcore comic fans who have been told they are not needed anymore, but now all of a sudden they're showing love to, are they going to hang on for another 2 years for this? And we'll find out.
It's a year of garbage for Marvel. The next year is all garbage. And the Fantastic Four is a wait and see. What we saw, I actually liked.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my gateway comic. And as for Downey as Doom, we've seen 3 different Doctor Dooms. None of them have gotten it. I mean, there was the one in the Corman FF. Then there was the terrible one. And then the even worse one in Josh Trank's FF. So it's never been done right. And this might be a completely different take from the, I don't know. But with FF, it's wait and see. I still think Pedro is a bad choice. He is miscast. He is not Reed Richards to me. Like, doesn't work. But although Vanessa Kirby, oh my God, we were very close and saw her, if you recall, Gary, and both of us were like, damn.
That's a good Invisible Woman.
My understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Gary, was it RDJ's idea to play Doom? Or was it pitched to him and he liked it? Like, that's what I've heard.
I can't say I know for sure. I think it was pitched to him, but
Okay.
he was down, absolutely down with doing it. But it had to be, yeah, that's all I can say.
He could still come back as Iron Man in Secret Wars, right?
Oh, yeah. So with female Silver Surfer, excuse me.
Ugh, I hate that idea.
Female Silver Surfer, since we were talking about Fantastic Four. I like the footage, too. It's basically 16 millimeter school footage from like in the 70s or 60s where you're following Reed Richards. Okay, Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards voice. I don't know if any of you guys heard that on the leak footage. It's terrible. It's utterly terrible. But it does show them, do you like science? And it shows the rocket, and it's going to be the original origin, and it's a very futuristic 60s. It's an alternate timeline. They did a silhouette of the Thing, and it looks like the Thing from the comics, like thank you for finally putting his eyebrow on, something a little simple like that. Galactus looked good. I think some people mentioned he looked kind of small. I'm not sure about that, but
no,
yeah,
he was big.
He was really big,
bigger than the comics, maybe bigger than the comics.
Yeah, he's not a cloud. He's not a cloud.
Cloud.
So the footage was fine.
It's the most promising thing we saw. It has promise. That doesn't mean it will be good, bad. Just it looked promising.
Yeah. So all that looked great, but there's the grim shadow of the female Silver Surfer hanging over this, which ruins absolutely everything.
How do you make that work? Because Alicia from the comics is like part of that story, Ben Grimm's blind girlfriend,
Was that her in the dating game?
No, I'm saying in the comic.
Oh, I don't know how they're going to make it work with a female Silver Surfer. It doesn't work with a female Silver Surfer.
That's correct. So that's what I'm saying.
Here's what I was told. That's the decision that came on high above Kevin Feige. In other words, Kevin Feige wasn't down with that decision. So there's still people who tell Kevin Feige what to do, apparently. The female Silver Surfer apparently wasn't his decision.
I hate that. I effing hate that.
If I'm Kevin Feige, this is where I find that hard to believe. Because if I'm Kevin Feige, I'm like, I'm Kevin fucking Feige. Okay? Yeah, haven't had a great... Okay, it's been shit for Phase 4, but my movies have grossed $30 billion. Norrin Rad's a dude.
It is so annoying that people who he wants to make the right call and is being prevented from that. He knows that we would have this conversation right now, and he knows that it won't work if you go by the comics.
Why would you want to go by the comics? 3 of the especially 49 and 50, Fantastic Four 49 and 50.
Greatest story ever told in comics. Yeah. One of the greatest.
Yes. Just do that.
Yeah.
Oh, well. In the best way possible, they admitted failure. They have some bad projects that it's kind of like Hollywood overall. And again, like I said in my video, it's proof that they're just fucking stupid. There's a lot of stupid people in charge of a lot of money in Hollywood who can't recognize that, with tentpole, these aren't art films. Okay, you give people what they want. You still want to make a very good story, and you find experienced people who have experience in the lore and know their comic books and know how to ground this stuff and give it earnestness, which it desperately needs. And that's fine. But you're not Fellini. Okay, you're like these are superhero films, and you need they are based on something you paid a lot of money for. Disney they pulled off a miracle. They made Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor, who were B team players in the comic books, A-list. And then they fucked it off. Look, Marvel Comics is killing Deadpool this Christmas and going to replace Deadpool with a female Deadpool, his daughter. Yeah, it's just the same mistakes over and over again. So I unapologetically, I am very skeptical of everything they do.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.